Shalom, shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. It's Officer Yahalon, IUIC Dallas. To my left.
Officer Shema.
And to my right.
Soldier Kareem.
That's right. We out here doing another edition of Cuts from the Streets. Today's topic is going to be Christmas Day. Christmas. Is it of God or is it not? Again, this is Cuts from the Streets. Let's go.
Let's get it.
All right, man. So my name is Yahalon. Who I'm here with?
Mike Lass.
Mike who?
Mike Lass.
Mike Lass. All right, that's what's up, bro. So again, as we were discussing, we are dealing with Christmas. So I'm gonna ask you just a couple questions, all right? And be honest with me, be straight up, you know what I mean? Be raw and uncut with it. So number one, are you going to celebrate Christmas this year?
Pretty much, yo.
Belinda, we out here trying to tell our people about Christmas. Let me ask you a question. Are you celebrating Christmas this year?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Why do you celebrate Christmas?
I love to celebrate Christmas with my family. It brings us all close together, especially the loved ones that we haven't seen like for years.
Shalom. My name is Jediah, and I'm here with
Joe.
All right, so what we're out here we're out here just talking to our people because a holiday is coming up that we traditionally celebrate, like Christmas. Like, will you be celebrating Christmas? No?
Nah, I won't be.
All right, why not?
I believe it's just a bullshit holiday to just make people spend money. It ain't original. It ain't nothing original.
Bill, we want to ask you some questions about Christmas. Are you celebrating Christmas this year?
Nah, I don't. Nah.
Why not?
Because it's a Satan. It's a Satan holidays. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Elaborate on that. You said it's a Satan holiday.
Santa, Santa is if you go in the it's Satan is Santa. You know what I'm saying? If you screw the lines and everything, yeah.
If you switch the words around, it is Satan.
Yeah, it's Satan. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get that. Now let me ask you a question. Would you call yourself a follower of the Bible, or a follower of Christ, or a follower of God?
I follow Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So you say. So what do you think God says about Christmas? Would he agree with it, or would he disagree with it?
I agree with it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, what would God say? My question was, what would God say about Christmas?
I don't know.
Hey, so this is Cuts from the Streets, IUIC Dallas edition. I'm Soldier Kareem, and to my left,
I'm Cassie.
I have Miss Cassie. All right, Cassie, so we're just asking some of the people in the neighborhood about Christmas. You got some stuff right there on your mouth on the other side. So anyways, do you celebrate Christmas?
I do. It's all about Christ Jesus and what I can do for others, but blessing to one another.
So you said it's all about Christ Jesus and what you do for other people? Okay, got you.
Everybody knows the birth of Jesus Christ, and we celebrate his birth as well. And the Spirit of Christ brings us all together as a family to love one another and to treat each other right. You know, a lot of our families, we don't talk to each other a lot, and we don't see each other a lot. And we're right here in the area, So to just reach out to your family and friends and even homeless people, anybody, to reach out to everybody, it's just a wonderful feeling. It's just a good experience for me.
All right, Marietta, so today we're just out here asking a few people about the Christmas holiday. So first off, do you celebrate Christmas?
I do.
You do? Why do you celebrate Christmas?
Birth of Christ.
Got your birth of Christ, and that's what it means to you, the birth of Christ?
Yeah, well, not exactly. It's, I guess, well, that and the giving, well, not so, I don't like.
That's fine.
Okay, bro.
It's fine. Hey, a lot of people nervous at first, but it's all right.
I mean, a lot of people think it's about the gifts, the presents and stuff. But, I think a lot of it is just when family comes together and share their love for each other,
Gotcha.
And also the birth of Christ.
And the birth of Christ.
Exactly
Got you.
Do celebrate it, even though I don't think he was born on that day.
Oh, you said you don't think he was born on that day? You got to say that loud.
No!
Because that might be true. Can you give me Luke 2:42?
Why do you celebrate Christmas, and what does Christmas mean to you?
I mean, why I celebrate it, it's a traditional thing, It's been around for years. That's what people do. Okay. But when I do it for my kids, It's not nothing in specific that I do it for. I do it just to put a smile on my kids' face,
Okay. That's what's up. All right. So the next question I'll have to follow with that. Would you consider yourself a Christian?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay, so what do you think God feels about us celebrating Christmas?
Like I said, I mean, it's traditional. It's just something that's embedded in us.
Okay.
Understandable. We don't celebrate Christmas too. It is a BS holiday. Because what are some of the things that they tell us come with Christmas? Like, what are some of the origins? What do they promote?
What they say that is it the birth or the resurrection of Jesus or something?
Yeah, they say the birth of Jesus.
Yeah. I'm really not even into that stuff. I'm not a Christian. I'm just trying to find my own way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you're trying to find your own way.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a Christian church?
Yeah.
You
That's
did?
what made me not a Christian.
When you celebrate Christmas, do you guys put Christmas trees up in your home?
We do.
Okay. And do you think that that's biblical?
No.
Get Jeremiah 10.
Wait. It's been a while since
No,
I read that
it's okay.
Bible.
No problem.
No,
Yeah, many people don't read it, you know.
No, it's been a while, honestly.
Okay. So let's see what the Bible says about Christmas trees.
Okay.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
So God is speaking to the children of Israel, which is you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, if you didn't know. Read.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
So he said, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Because what the heathens do, they'll look up at the sun and call that sun Nimrod and call him God. Read.
For the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain.
So he said those customs, those sun god worshiping, that Christmas, he said that's vain. What does vain mean?
Vain mean vanity. You know what I'm saying? Vanity. You know what I'm saying?
It means lies.
Yeah, lies. Yeah.
Read on.
Yeah.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
So what holiday do they do that, where they take a tree and cut it out of the forest?
Oh yeah, the Christmas. Yep.
In this custom, there's somebody who goes to the forest, they cut down a tree.
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold.
So it's giving you a process. He said a man goes out for this particular custom. They go to the forest. They cut down the tree with the axe. They put it up. They deck it with silver and gold, which is like ornaments today, right? Does that sound like Christmas?
Right.
Go ahead.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
So what do you put at your tree at the bottom to make sure it stands up?
Screws and nuts.
Okay.
They are upright as the palm tree,
Meaning they stand up tall. Read.
but speak not. They must needs to be born.
Said this tree also needs to be carried because that tree, it doesn't walk, it has no legs. So this is a custom you're reading about in the Bible. It's talking about Christmas.
Right.
So did you know that was there?
Yeah.
You knew that was there. Do you know that's talking about?
How do I feel about it? If God said that we're not supposed to do those things, you're supposed to obey his word. But it's a celebration of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Okay, so in your opinion, Belinda, you saying that Christ probably was born December 25th? Is that what you're saying?
I could say that.
And what does the Bible say about Christ and Christmas together? Do you know?
Well, celebrate his birthday.
You said it celebrates his birthday?
Yes.
Okay, got you. Can somebody give me the book of Luke chapter 2? And let's start at verse 40. All right, so when was Christ born?
December 25th.
December 25th? Is that in the Bible?
No.
It's not? So how do we know then that's when he was born?
What were some of the things that you find that contradict? You know, they would say that I'm a Christian, I'm a follower of a God. You grew up in a church, but what are some things that kind of opened up your mind?
Just really all the time we spent in church. Bible studied, what was it? Bible study, Sunday school. It was just too much going on in church. I felt like it was taking up too much of my time. They asking for money every time you come to the church. It just don't make sense to me. I got a family to feed. You know, I'm feeding the church. Then a lot of pastors, they getting caught up right now, you know.
You said you was a follower of Christ?
Yeah.
How does help me understand that one?
Everything, like, for us Christians, everything is
Colossians 2.
it's all embedded in us. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? It come from the slavery days. They done embedded in us, so that's just something that they put in us. You know what I'm saying? As far as black people, you know what I'm saying? As far as religion, I'm open to all religions. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not biased towards anyone, but it's like Pacific. You know, I'm a Christian of God. You know what I'm saying? I'm a follower of Christ.
Okay.
You know, I'm a believer.
That's actually true what you said. Christ wasn't actually born in December. And I'll show you that. Do you believe in the Bible?
Yeah,
You
I do.
Gotcha. Would you call yourself a Christian?
I was.
You was?
Yes, sir.
And then what'd you turn into?
I don't consider myself anything right now. I don't consider myself anything right now.
Okay, got you. All right, so let's read what you got.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 42. And when he was 12 years old,
So Christ was 12 years old, read.
they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
Start at verse 41.
Verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of Passover.
So Christ's parents, Mary and Joseph, they went to Jerusalem every year around Passover. Do you know what time of the year Passover is?
I don't remember.
So Passover is in the springtime. So read on.
And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
So at this time, around this Passover time, Christ was turning 12.
So according to the Bible, Christ's birthday is probably more than likely during the springtime, not the dead of the winter. So when they tell us that it's Jesus Christ's birthday, December the 25th, that might be a custom that's vain, might be a lie. They might be talking about a god named Nimrod, a Babylonian god. So with that being said, are you still going to celebrate Christmas?
I'm going to celebrate Christmas
And why are you going to celebrate it?
because it's a time to spend with my family.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Philosophy and vain deceit. Go ahead.
After the tradition
The what?
The tradition of men. After the rudiments of the world. And not after Christ.
So in the Bible, God said, beware lest anybody spoil us through those traditions. And you said it yourself that we don't have our own culture, our traditions. We only know what we've been taught. And I agree with you 100%. And one of the traditions was Christmas that we was actually taught that God said not to be deceived by. Now, when you go to, in the Bible, the same Bible, you go to Leviticus chapter 23. That's when you find our culture. Because I'm not sure if you knew that. We have a culture. It's actually here in the Bible. It's been written. But we haven't been taught. We've been following after the traditions of men in the Bible that we just read earlier, talking about Christmas.
I want to show you one thing in the Bible. Give me Revelations 1:14. I want to start with that because I grew up going to the Christian church for 20 somewhat years, and I never heard this being read to us before. Read what you got.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So we start by saying the revelation of Jesus Christ. The root word of revelation means to reveal. So we're about to reveal the image of Christ. Read what you got.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So he had hair on his head, and his hairs were white in color and woolly in texture. Who do you know walking around here? What race of people have woolly textured hair?
Mostly blacks.
Blacks, right? Yeah. Read it.
As white as snow.
And his hair was white like snow. Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So his eyes were red. They say there was a flame of fire. Because it prophesied that Christ, he drank wine. Like his first miracle was turning water into wine. And you know, when we start drinking a little bit, our eyes might turn a little red. That's what it's talking about. All right, read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Like fine what?
Fine brass.
Now, this is John the Revelator looking at Christ's feet. What color is brass?
Black, almost. It's like brownish.
Like brownish, right? So if Christ had brownish feet, let's see how brown it was.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So if they burned in a furnace, have you ever heard that before?
Nah, I don't read the Bible.
You don't read the Bible, but have anyone ever showed you? Because what would Christ look like according to that verse? What would he look like?
Like an African-American man.
Like an African-American man. Exactly.
The point is, God said his chosen people are not supposed to celebrate these things. So let me ask you, how does God feel when his chosen people still do this? How do you think? What do you think?
I mean, he's upset or angry with us, but he also does forgive us.
Okay, got you. Well, that was pretty much it for the interview. Did you have any questions?
Oh, no. I know the Bible, but my head is like,
yeah.
caught me by surprise.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, I'm not surprised that you were caught by surprise, but it's all good. Have a good day.
Hey, shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless again. So after today, we got a couple interviews. I think it went pretty well today. So right now, what we're gonna do is just take a quick second to see what the brothers think about the interviews today. So I'm gonna start with you, Officer Shema. What do you think? How do you think today went? For one, and what is one thing that you see that sticks out? You know what I'm saying, about all of our people who we interviewed today?
A lot of times, what I got out of a lot of our people, they really don't understand Christ's birthday, December the 25th. They just understand a part of being as a family, being together as a family and doing it for the kids. And it's a time for the family to get together. And even if they found out that it wasn't Christ's birthday, they're still willing to do it. Even if they found out that God wasn't really dealing with that and it was before Christ was even born, those pagan holidays, they still go against God and do it. So I don't know, man. Our people got to come back to God, man. I just think that they still, want to do whatever the Europeans do, whatever we was taught in slavery,
Okay, that's a very good point. To my right?
Soldier Karim. Something I noticed today is that every year you'll see that it's more and more people starting to say, no, I don't celebrate that. No, that's pagan. No, I know that we're not supposed to be doing that. But even them knowing that it's pagan and they knowing that we're not supposed to celebrate it, they still do it because it's a slave trade, something that they was taught in slavery and it's been passed down and passed down. And a lot of people even tell you, hey, man, it's just our tradition. And honestly, it's just because they don't know that we actually have a culture. We actually have a tradition that God gave us. So it's important that we be out here and get this message to our people.
Cool. And I'll be very brief just to say something. I agree with you. Both y'all's answer. The same thing I would have to bring out is that the people who was talking to explained to them that this is not of the Bible. And the main thing we saw was this is my culture. This is my tradition. One brother said that we do this because it's for my kids. We don't have no traditions. We don't have no culture. So I believe that our people here in captivity, we've been broken down so much that we don't believe we have a culture. So all we have is Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and so on and so forth. And that's why it has such a stronghold on our people, because we don't know anything else. You know what I'm saying? So just to be brief, that's something I saw as well. Christmas Day is a very powerful stronghold on our people. As we see now, it was December now, but even starting back at the end of October, they had Christmas carols going, they had Christmas decorations, so on and so forth. So this is a heavy stronghold on our people, man. But again, this is IUIC Dallas, Cuts from the Streets. With that, we say shalom.
We used to scream Black Power while heroin was pushed, but at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.